Hello everyone, my name is Brent Dawes. I am the writer and one of the directors of the David animated feature film. And I'm here with Jackie Cunningham and Phil Cunningham, who are the founders and owners of Sunrise Animation Studios. And Phil is the other director on the movie and the mastermind behind it, actually. Then on my left is Brian Stivale, who is the voice of Samuel. And on my far left is Brandon Engman, the voice of young David. And this is an unusual one for me because usually Phil is the one leading these things, but I said, well, can I be the one to ask some questions? Because I want to tee Phil up because he's the one with the big story here. And I think we should start, Phil, with where did the idea come from for a movie on David? And yeah, tell us the origin story.
Yeah, thank you. So the story started over 30 years ago, canoeing down a beautiful river in Zimbabwe called the Zambezi River. You could canoe for 4 days, 5 nights. You wouldn't see a human being. And when I was out there, just looking up at the thunderstorms, the galaxies, there were elephant, buffalo, lion, I fell in love with God. The expansive, beautiful, adventurous heart of God was just so inspiring. At the same time, I was reading David's story, and it's like, in Acts it says, I found in David, son of Jesse, a man after my own heart. And I was like, wow, David's story gives us a glimpse of God's heart. And so that's where it was birthed. Obviously, we'll get into the journey was long after that because that was over 30 years ago, but that was the genesis of it. And from there, I was just like, God is adventurous, God is expansive, God is awesome. David's story is a vehicle for us to get a glimpse of that.
Amazing. Yeah, I knew that, but it's a beautiful story. And Jackie, I want to ask you because I don't think I've ever actually asked you this specifically, but the legend goes that you were on honeymoon and Phil said he wanted to make a movie and you were like, let's go for it. Tell me the truth of that story.
So when I met Phil, the first thing he told me is he's going to make a David movie. And we were chicken farmers at the time, and he was just passionate about it. That's all he spoke about. He used to tell me all these dreams, but at that stage, it was still live action. It wasn't animation. And then we weren't quite on honeymoon, but we'd been talking about it. We'd been farming for 6 years, chickens, and we came on holiday down to Cape Town. And Phil just literally rolled over on the beach and said, do you want to make a movie? And I was like, yeah, that's a good idea. And that's how it all began.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That is so funny. And so, Phil, tell me, we're going to get to this side of the table now, but I like it.
Don't worry.
Yeah,
We're listening.
But speak to me about actually your relationship with Jax and how important that's been in this journey.
Yeah, because that's a huge part of the journey is Jax's role in our relationship. Jackie was also reading a saying once where it says, an eagle that chases two rabbits, both will get away. And she's like, Phil, if you want to go for the movie industry, you're going to have to, we have to shut down the agricultural business you're doing. You have to go after the movie business. So Jax is an absolute, if I can say, Spartan woman who I had the dream, I had the vision, but she was an incredible part of the catalyst to say, go for it, if you've got that. And Jax has got this beautiful thing. We've got it up at our studio, Brent, as you know. On our map, on our wall, we've got a beautiful map, and it's got the acronym HBD, which means here be dragons. And on the old maps, if you got to the edge of navigated waters, there's a sign HBD. Don't go past that because there's dragons.
Right.
Jackie's the kind of person who's go past there. Let's go look for these dragons. So her role has been absolutely massive in getting us on the journey and taking us forward. And
yeah, incredible. And I can testify to that. I've observed it and seen it.
Stay together. If we stay close, stay tight, it won't be able to single anyone out.
Brandon, what did you think HBD meant?
Yes. When I first got the script, it said HBD on it, and I was like, oh, their code name is Happy Birthday.
That's quite a difference from Here Be Dragons.
Is not what it is, yes.
But you've been with us since 2017 when we wrote the first demo.
Yeah.
Like 5 minutes short. Tell us about your journey of being cast for the role, what that felt like, and what it was like being cast as young David.
Yeah, I mean, it was a long journey. Like you said, this for me started in 2017. I had just finished acting school, and my first voiceover audition ever was David. Wow. And I saw the breakdown, and I was like, first of all, I was like excited to be auditioning for anything. And then I saw the first, I think it was the first, you know, sketches of David. You guys had like a young David and also an adult David. And I read the breakdown, and it was like, you know, you described it as Prince of Egypt meets Tangled. And I was just so excited that this movie was being made. You know, David for me has always been a hero. I'm a short person, and you know, growing up, I was always the smallest guy on the soccer field, and always looked up to David, you know. And so I submitted the tape and really thought nothing of it. I was just like, okay, I hope I get another audition for something else. And then it was a month and a half went by, I think, and I get a call, and they're like, you have a callback for David, and I was like, what? Yeah. Really? That was easy.
Yeah.
Easy. The real world's easy. Yeah. And so that was with Ned Lott. And I don't know why, you know, it's my first audition, my first callback, and I finished, and I was like, I think I got it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It felt so good, and I don't know. It's always good when you make the casting director laugh, and there was some laughs, so I was like, okay, we'll see.
Yeah, I remember going through all the auditions, and yours was like, oh, there's David. It was a no-brainer.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was just, there was, no. I always feel really bad for people, maybe this is too much information. I don't understand anyway. I always feel bad for people who audition because you can tell quite quickly when you're going through the voices.
Yeah.
You listen to the first 3 seconds, it's like, it's not there, and you move on. And I really feel bad pressing move on because, like, I know this person had hopes and dreams and desires for this thing, and I stopped on yours and I listened. It's like, oh, there he is, which is wonderful. And I want to thank you for not sounding any older today than you did back then.
You're welcome.
Right?
You're welcome.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. And so we were just so grateful, and that you absolutely encapsulated the heart of young David.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It was, I didn't quite know the journey that was, you know, gonna happen from that. I thought when I got the demo, like, I thought it was a movie. And then they're like, no, it's just a 5-minute short. And I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's cool too. But yeah, that led to the animated series, and then so thankful that I was able to be part of the movie as well.
Eyes on me. On me. No!
Brandon, as the voice of David, what is it about his voice and his performance that speaks of David to you? And tell us about who David is as a character to you.
That's so awesome, because like I was saying, when we were cutting down the Zambezi, just seeing David as a man of adventure, of expansive living, and holds nothing back, and of great humility. So what we saw in Brandon was that humility. Brandon, you got an awesome humility, but you also bring such energy, such joy, such adventure to the voice. And that was for Brent and I, was like, that's David, because you brought that energy and that enthusiasm. And I want to say about David, he's the kind of guy who held nothing back. He was far from perfect, but he held nothing back. When he was fearful, he spoke out his fear. When he was asking God why, he said, why, God? When he was happy, he said out his happiness. And I feel your voice just holds nothing back. It brings that energy, that beauty, that authenticity, which is what we were looking for, and the humility. So Brandon really brought that humility into the character, which was important to us, eh, Brent?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, 100%. And I'm going to swing back a little bit this way now. So Brian, like, when did you first hear about this project, and how did that come about?
Samuel popped up. I think you had they had asked for Saul and Samuel, which are very much my types. And there was a time in my life I was Saul. And I would have very much been a better Saul for you than I was a Samuel. But my heart changed. And with that, I'm a father of now adult children. My 2 sons of thunder, Gabriel and Ben, are proof as to why I have a different temperament and a spirit than I did when I was Saul in my younger years. A little angry, trying to kick at the goads and do everything in the flesh. But when I read, just like what Brandon said, when I read the synopsis and the bylines for the description of what you were accomplishing, my baby jumped inside, spiritually speaking. I felt so related to it. I said, if there's anything I live for, it's to do this, to pick up where DreamWorks left off, in my opinion. And I felt like there was a gap. Long before I was ever attached to this project, I always felt like Prince of Egypt offered something to the world that gave soul food. It gave a different type of understanding, and it was Old Testament, and it was their tithe unto God, in my opinion, to start their business out. I think it was their second film release. But there's been a 22-year lack of that. So when I read this, I thought, this has to happen. Whether I'm attached to this or not, I'm going to be praying for this. But my heart attached very much to Samuel, and it became, forgive the terminology, covetous need to be attached to this project and prayerful consideration over somehow receiving the honor of playing this role. So when it happened, there have been a few times in my life that I've out and out wept with joy. And I control myself now. I wept with joy because I know this is special. And I know this has a place in cinematic history, but it also has a place in people's lives to influence them in a way that they've never been touched before. And your lives have been poured into that. And that makes this different than a picture. This isn't a movie. This is a film. I mean, it's a movie. It's entertaining and it's inspiring, but it's so much more. You've accomplished, and we're blessed to be a part of that. This beautiful work of art that testifies to the glory of God and His faithfulness. And that I love the message that we are to be shepherded by the Lord. You know, Psalms 23 is overlooked in that the Lord is my shepherd is the true message of David. And how much does everybody need that in this day and age? So thank you for letting me be a part of this.
And seeing you get emotional there is wonderful, because that's happened a lot in this movie.
Yeah, I can't imagine.
We've had so many people that have come and been part of the project that have felt like, I need to be a part of this. I need to be a part of this. And one of the themes that emerged through the making of the movie was faith versus fear. And Jackie, I know that you've probably witnessed that significantly through the making of the movie, because there's been a lot of challenges. You know, there's a poem. Is this the poem that you mentioned? No, the Sir Francis Drake poem.
Yes, it's under the HBD sign.
On the map at the studio, do you want to just talk about that poem, and then I want to ask Jackie a question.
Yeah, the poem Brent's referring to is written by Sir Francis Drake, an incredible adventurer. And he wrote a poem that's quite surprising, but it's "Disturb us, O Lord." And he talks about let us lose sight of land so we can find new lands. And it's a very inspiring poem, because it really encourages you to let go of what's safe, take a step out and set sail. It's almost like ships are safe in harbor, but that's not what they were built for.
Right.
So it encourages you to get out of harbor and get going.
Yeah. And so just to tee you up there, because what I have observed when I look at David's story, David faced incredible challenges. Later in life, he brought a lot on himself. But in our story, a lot of the challenges he was facing were thrust upon him. You know, so Saul accusing him where David's heart was in a good place, you know, but he held firm through that. And I know you and I have both observed Phil through this journey. So he's been faithfully going about something, and curveballs come left and right. Talk to me about what it's been like being alongside Phil through the making of this.
You know, Brent, I don't know why, but that song from The Greatest Showman pops into my head, Tightrope. It's like walking a tightrope, but I choose to walk it. And it's been a great honor to be able to walk it with Phil. And what I've loved about walking this journey with Phil is, and I think you've said it many times, Phil doesn't just talk the talk, he walks it. And I think the story Phil tells, he's not telling a story, he walks the story. And for me, the whole making of the David movie feels like we made it by living it. Philip and I, collectively as a team with you, with our collective team, it feels like we went through that, where that first call came of, do you want to make a movie? Yes, you know? No, we don't want to make a movie because it involves that. And then there were those moments of, I think of in 2020 when we lost all the funding and COVID hit, and it was tough, and there'd been so many starts and stops and starts and stops. And then that why God, every time I hear that song, it just resonates with me of why God, why have you forsaken us? I've done nothing wrong. I've followed you. I've believed the whole way. But that whole journey and realizing that, I think for me, the biggest takeaway from the movie is before we made it, and we've walked a long journey together, Brent. I mean, we've walked over 25 years. So it's that thing of, we always think a life is out there, and realizing that to make a good story, you need to live it. It needs to happen in your own life. And actually, the greatest Goliaths we overcome are within. And when we overcome those, the gold comes out. And I can honestly say, you know, we worked, as you know, our team was 400 strong over 27 countries, and that's just the Sunrise team. Now you start adding in artists and investors and angel and everybody's lives. I just see that deep richness, because at the same time we walked with people and we walked with their families, because we love families, and we just see all the heartache and sacrifices. And COVID, a key person lost a wife, and so there were very, very hard, real times. But I think that beauty was woven into these tapestries we see around us, the richness of those threads of people's lives. So,
and just to chime in, that's amazing. Like we were just talking about, you often live the story you're making. And we were just saying, just very quickly, Joseph has a dream, and then he's off to slavery and off to prison. You know, Moses has a calling, he's off to the desert for 40 years. David has an anointing, he's off to the wilderness for 7 years. So when you find yourself in a wilderness or a desert, it's kind of normal. But the good news is the Good Shepherd is with you.
Amen.
yes.
So if you live the story that you make, can we make one about puppies and happiness?
He's huge. Like a mountain. He's the biggest thing I've ever seen, and I once seen a whale.
I often laugh because as you walk up the stairs at our studio, Phil's got a saying up there from Lord of the Rings, Gimli. It's like certainty of death, small chance of success. What are we waiting for? You know, I'm like, Phil, can we put up something like definite, guaranteed happiness and joy? What would happen then? But how do you, Phil, hold on to your purpose and vision through those hard times?
Yeah, thanks, Brent. I think there's so many elements to that. The one thing Jackie was saying the other day, it's people like you guys, like Jackie, the amazing team. Because I think that's where Jackie's got a saying, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. And you can't do it on your own. You need the days where you can't pick yourself up, Jackie can pick me up, or you can. We had those days together. And so I think one of the main ingredients is the community around you, is what helps you do the journey. The other thing for me is actually God himself. God is the hero of the story. There were times where I lost hope, lost courage, but he didn't. And he kept us going. And so you start to relax into that and realize he's got it. And then you start to step forward with perseverance. And
I can also testify to observing that with Phil, and you would as well. It's like when things went really dark and hard, Phil would come back on a Monday morning and he's like, this is reality, but I'm relaxed. It's okay. You know, and it was just such a testimony. And it's amazing how that ripples to the team. And this is the thing. So Phil, I know one of your favorite stories about David is how the mighty men, 3 of his mighty men fought through the Philistines to go and draw him water from the well in Bethlehem. Because they saw something in David. He inspired something within them. And I can say as well that that's what you've done to us as a team.
Thank you.
That's
Thank you,
absolutely the way that the way that you have operated yourself in the making of this movie has spoken to us and has moved us. And I can tell you that we would go get you water.
Thank you.
From the well of Bethlehem. Because, and I think it's so special and it's so rare to meet someone with such authenticity, such vision. So, yeah.
And you know, Brent, to tell you a little about Phil's story, when Phil was a young boy, till about the age of 9, his mum actually shared with me that he was quite a fearful kid. He was the one who would never sleep out. He was the third born. And his mum was like, come on, Phil, David was killing bears and taking on lions, and what are you doing? And one day Phil walked into a bathroom and there was a verse on the back of the door in Isaiah basically talking about do not fear.
Do not fear, yeah.
And Phil made a decision that day as this 9-year-old boy, I will not fear. And I tell you what, he basically ran with no fear. And I think you can testify to that, hey, Brent?
And what I love about that is that's a Damascus Road experience.
Yes.
That's not you deciding, okay, well, I'm now going to be brave. It's like something switched.
Something switched. Yeah, for me it was like water into wine, day into night into day. And it wasn't like you're saying, it was something that I could feel God did, that no fear came from God. Yeah.
I love that. And Brandon?
Yes.
Have you had a Damascus Road experience? And to not be so specific about that, I'm wanting to know from your journey of making this movie, how have you changed? Have you gathered any insights through the story? Or
it's been an honor to play young David, one of my heroes, but I feel like I've personally changed a lot and have been inspired by David. You know, there's a line in the shorts, be strong and courageous.
Yeah.
And that has really stuck with me. And I'm trying to bring that into my own life. I read an article not too long ago about a father. He was talking about the shorts, and I guess his son was really struggling with some separation anxiety. And he found the shorts, and now I'm gonna get emotional. He said to his father, I can be strong and courageous like David. And it, helped him. So just knowing that like one kid has been changed it's an honor. As I'm crying.
And he's not even a dad yet. Wait until he's a dad.
Now I'm going to be a dad next month, and I can't wait. It's to share this with my kids someday. And
I love that. Someone asked me yesterday in an interview. They said, "What would success mean for David?" And I said, I believe it's already been successful. I said, whatever it does from here.
Amen.
That's bonus. But I said it's already touched and changed people's lives. And I read that story as well and absolutely resonate. And it's happening to people who watch the movie. Like we did a screening the other day, and someone they won a ticket to watch this pre-release screening, and they came and watched it. And I was doing a Q&A afterwards, and he came right at the end and he said, "Brent, I got all the way to my car and felt I had to come back and tell you." He said, "I came here a lost sheep and I've been found." And again, that's just beautiful, you know. And even within that, a story of one of our animators on the movie. She spoke to me once we finished the movie. She said, "Brent, when I came on the movie, I was broken." She said, "I was disillusioned with life. I didn't know where I was going." And she said, "Making the movie healed me."
Wow.
She said, "Just operating with you guys, working on this story," she said it healed me. And so I'm like, it's a success, you know. Whatever happens from here is just wonderful.
Can I interject that there's a way that I think this is going to be a success that you have impacted that is scriptural as well, and that's that, and we've been blessed to be a part of. David, after defeating Goliath, you realize, obviously, there were more Nephilim in the land. Goliath's brothers existed amongst them, and so it took David having strength and courage and being that, as you have, making this film, to tell David's brothers, he's not crazy. He's the right one. And now we can go kill giants, because that's what scripturally happens after David defeats Goliath. His brothers go and kill the other giants, the other relatives of Goliath. I believe you've given filmmakers and young filmmakers and performers and creatives who are in the industry, which is not necessarily filled with biblical light, the impetus to do that, and the strength and the courage to pick up where this success is, as I agree, it's already a success, leaves off.
May it be so.
Amen. Amen.
And Brent, I was going to say, not just one staff member. I work with the crew, and I can say honestly, if I could tell you the stories, but obviously you wouldn't want to share, but the lives that were changed was just phenomenal. And so many crew have said working on this project was a huge life-changing experience for them.
It was absolutely incredible.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not even your God can save you from the might of the Philistines.
Oh, yeah? Come over here and we'll see about that.
Goliath might hear you.
Who's Goliath?
Imagine the biggest warrior you have ever seen.
Okay.
Now imagine somebody ate him.
It doesn't matter how big he is. With God on our side, even I could fight him.
Originally, this was going to be a live action movie.
Yes.
So Phil, why did we go animation?
I'm going to blame the woman. No, on a serious note, Jackie and Rita, I had this vision for it to be a live action movie. And then Jax, and I didn't realize at the same time, literally the same day, said to me, Phil, animation's got this power to cross age, cultural, race, and gender barriers just better than any other medium. And if you want this incredible story to inspire the world, animation is the way to do it. And I was like, You're crazy. I went for a walk down the beach, came back. She was still determined about this. And then Rita phoned and said Rita, our other producer, said the exact same thing. So I said, I better listen.
And we didn't speak to each other.
And you didn't speak to each other. So animation's has got this beautiful power. And we felt in the end it's the best way to carry this inspiring story to the world.
Yeah.
On that note, can I give you a half-time on hosting?
Yes.
Because I just want to say, I'm going to get to a question for you,
Yes.
Brent, and then you can carry on.
Yeah.
But I just don't want to lose out hearing from this amazing director. So Brent is, besides being an absolute legend and Spartan, a man of courage. Be strong and courageous. Brent was that for 25 years. When other people were losing hope, you didn't. And you were so brave, Brent.
Why didn't you run away?
And like Jackie and I was saying, there was periods where Brent worked for no salary. Just that's how passionate he was, how much he believed. He's a man of incredible courage and belief. But Brent, I want to talk about something more funny. I'd often walk into the studio and I'd see Brent like this. And Brent often talks about us all being custodians of the project, and we directed together, and there was a big story team. But Brent, you carried the incredible responsibility of writing the script. And can you just talk to us a little bit about that? Because you had people with a lot of voices. I don't want to tell you what to say.
Bossing you around.
Yeah, and we had to, I'm just going to tee it up a little bit. We had this incredible story. It's got so many elements. Like, how did you deal with all of that and getting into such a beautiful narrative? When I was watching the film, people just said it flowed, it connected, it felt authentic. But I saw those days where your head was on the bench. So can you talk us through about writing the script, what that took and how it was for you?
Yeah, thank you. So from the get-go, this movie has felt different to anything else we've made before. It's been a journey to get here. So everything else I've done before, I felt like I had a sense of ownership over it. You know, I was able to, I'm going to write this story about a monkey and an elephant, and I get to dictate what they do. But with this story, this does not belong to me, and this does not belong to you. You know, it's not ours.
Not ours.
It is humanity's, and it is God's story. And so right from day one, when you first said, Brent, will you write this? I recognized that this is not mine. And so I felt a need to allow it to be what it was meant to be, you know. So there were two things. It was either this, which means I'm working hard. Like when I was in advertising, I had a screensaver that came on when I was doing that. It said, "I'm not not sleeping, I'm thinking," you know, because it's spending the time allowing something to speak to you. The studio is built on the base of a beautiful mountain, Chapman's Peak in Cape Town. And often, like I just recognized with the story, I don't know what the best path for this story is, but I know there's one there. And I know that I've been given the responsibility to allow it the space. So I would go up that mountain and I would have talks to God and confessions saying, and it was literally this, I don't know. I don't know where the story's supposed to go. Like, as I walk up, the team needs to know, but I don't know, you know? And I'd walk up and I'd walk down and something would come to mind. The last one that I remember was the beginning of the movie, which came right at the end. I was like, how are we going to start this movie? Because it needs to have an emotional weight to it. How can I do this? There's nothing in the Bible. I don't know what to do. And I went up, I was like, I don't know. I've written it probably 40 beginnings of this movie. And I was like, well, and the idea dropped of what if he's, so because it's like it's easy to protect a sheep. What if he's protecting a sheep that's about to give birth? And I was like,
brilliant.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And it hit me, you know, I was like, oh no, that's awful. Therefore it's great.
Agreed.
You know, and I sort of just leant into that. And so it was a lot of just listening and letting, and again, not taking ownership of it, which is tricky. It's a hard thing to say to people, write like that, you know.
Yes.
But again, it had something to it, and it was just, as you said, just being a custodian of it.
And to say to people, watching Brent script write was such another example of courage, because Jackie loves the Navy SEALs. There's a beautiful saying there that slow is smooth is fast, and fast is lethal. And that was Brent writing the script for me. It was like no one was going to, in a good way, going to rush him, because we were not going for good, we were going for great. We were trying to build this Eiffel Tower. I mean, this Arc de Triomphe. And Brent, I really want to say that you were courageous enough to go slow is smooth is fast. And in the end, I think fast was lethal.
Thank you. I know that's scary. It's scary for the rest of the team. I know Tim Keller, one of our producers, it's like, Brent, how are those pages? I'm like,
we're not there yet.
But he gave me the space, and you did as well, which was incredible. Yeah.
You know, I have to bring up here, because I need you two to answer a question for me, because I know I'm in full
We're asking the question.
Full in my head. But how do you two are in each other's heads? I've never seen two people work together and flow, where we'll be sitting in a room having a review, and something will be said, and Brent will say, no, Phil didn't say that. That's what he said. And Phil go, yeah, that's exactly it. It's like you read each other without words. So I'd love you to share that.
I mean, I can dive in a little bit. I think part of it is working together for 25 years. So you build a shorthand. And I love the story about David. When he went to fight Goliath, he's like, I fought lions, I fought bears, I'll fight this giant. So I think we fought lions, we fought bears together, got to know each other in the trenches. And I really trust Brent creatively. He's the most incredible creative in the world. So
did you hear that?
Did you hear that? So we just really believed in each other, I think, and built up a shorthand.
And I've got a different answer. So I agree, and 100%. Mine is very different in that, and maybe it's because of the way that I came about finding Sunrise. I'm a very belief-led person, and I didn't know what the plan for my life was. I didn't know what I was supposed to be doing, but I knew that I'd recognize it when I found it. And so I started off by doing advertising, and I'm like, this is not it. I know creativity is me, but advertising is not. So this was holding pattern, and then I found out about Sunrise and the first movie you were making. Came and met you guys, and my first day there, I was like, I am home. These are my people, and I think from that moment, it was like, to me, I've often described this, and it's like, I'll give a little caveat to this, because it does feel like you're David. It feels like I'm the Jonathan to your David. It's always felt like that, a similar, I just feel we've always had a similar faith or similar view and a similar hope and a similar, my caveat is I hope my story doesn't end like Jonathan's. But it's okay if it does, you know, we'll see. But so for me, I've just always, from day one, have believed in you. And have seen and understood what it is that you want. So I'm like, and again, within that, I've known my role is to support that. So that's what I'm there to do. And that's why I think it works so well, is I'm not trying to go, but my idea. It's like, Phil, like, I get your idea, and I'm gonna help you make it shine. Do you know what I mean? So it's a really supporting.
And I saw the beauty of that. I sometimes Phil would talk to me and say, this is what I want. And then Brent would come in and have a meeting with Phil, and he would share. And Phil would go, that's exactly it. That's what I saw. And without him even having to explain it to you. And I was just, I often said to Phil, you were both in each other's heads. It's like 2 bodies, one heart.
One hive mind.
Yeah, one heart.
Yeah.
You think your weapons can do anything against the god who parted the sea? The god who came in a pillar of fire?
Wait. What are you saying?
You come against me with sword and spear. But I come against you in the name of the God of heaven and earth. The battle is his.
The rest of the cast. I mean, we had Ned Lotz. I want to talk a little bit about Ned.
Love Ned.
But also, for you guys, the rest of the cast, like, who are some of your other favorite characters in the movie? Like, and who would you like to highlight, voice actor-wise? Who inspired you? And you're like, wow, they nailed it in the cast.
I'm gonna let you go first.
Okay, well, okay. Everyone's so talented. Ned Lott, shout out Ned Lott. He did such an incredible job to find us and other people. Yesterday, meeting Adam Gold.
Yeah.
How awesome.
Who's Saul, but if you see him in person, you would not think that voice is gonna come out of him.
Yeah.
I was blown away.
Yeah.
He came up to me, he's like, hey Brandon, love your work. And I'm like, what are you doing here? Who are you? And he's like, oh, I'm Saul. And I was just like, no. Incredible.
Incredible.
Also Jonathan,
Mark Jacobson.
Mark is great.
He has such a, important role in this film. He's kind of the level-headed, character for Saul and David at moments. I just think he did an incredible job as well. It's hard to, we could talk, Sloan, come on.
Sloan, come on.
Okay, young Zeruiah.
Right.
He's still my heart.
One of the greatest voices
Adorable.
ever. She melts my heart every time I hear her, so,
Yeah.
I'm gonna just right off the bat say I'm thrilled with obviously Brandon and Phil's performance. Phil's performance is out of the park, just stellar.
Just to clarify, so Phil at Adel David, not this Phil.
Yeah. You don't want him to.
He does it in costume. You'd never know. Phil Wickham,
Phil
of course. This is a very Phil production. I'm sorry, there's a lot of Phils involved. It's full of Phils, but. Beyond Phil and as you said, Adam and Mark, such a great job as Jonathan as well, and Miri Masika, Be Still My Heart, how great her performance is, and then Siva is unreal. The maternal aspect of it, but that there's this, you feel the chemistry between her and young David and her and adult David in such a beautiful way, because I know this was a mother-son story in your heart, and as it really should be from this perspective. Boy, did you capture that. But it came through her authenticity. She's a Hebrew mama, so she has that in her already. And then reaching out to the rest of the predominancy of the cast, you had so many great voice actors that I get the privilege to work with on a regular basis that were involved in this. Even the smaller parts. There's a guy named Mike Saporkin who played the scout. Yeah. Wonderful work. Like even little side parts that came into the
Ashley
picture.
And teenage Zeruiah.
Yeah, she was magnificent.
She was
Just brilliant, and what a nice transition into it.
So lovely. Can I just say something about Ashley?
Yeah.
And if I think we'll need to get her permission for this. And we can cut it out. If this is still in, she gave us permission. But she was incredible. And I know you've worked with her before, right?
Yeah.
But we found her, we recorded her. She loved the role. It's a small little part, you know. And when Rita sent her contract through to sign and everything, she sent it back and she said, please put my fee as 0.
Yeah.
Yes.
She's like, I want you to reinvest that money into the production. She was just
I feel like a heel.
You guys earned everything, and everything that comes your way you deserve. But I just love it's again speaking about how individuals, the heart of individuals, and I just think that's beautiful.
And then going back to heart, Ned Lott's heart for this film and for the kingdom, and such a great casting director. He knows how to get the right fit, the right puzzle pieces to fit together.
Totally.
And it's what a privilege to have him on board, because he's been responsible for so many great casting decisions in the animated world, and some that have impacted the kingdom. I mean, so this is a really brilliant. You guys had an incredible crew involved in the direction. Thank you for being so clear too. You made it easy on us to do our jobs.
No, and a big shout out. Animation's an incredible, like Jackie says, tapestry to weave together.
Yeah.
Brent's an amazing director and does good at the whole aspect. But voice acting, the way you like really directed the voice actors, brought the best out of them, brought the characters out. I actually just sat back and watched most of the time. Had a few small comments, but you know, the way you really directed the voice talent, Brent, I thought was amazing.
Thank you.
And then Ned would jump in with some beautiful aspects as well. And watching you and Ned work was awesome.
Yeah, and on the voice casting, Ned was incredible. We also had, was it Vicky and Urfa?
Right.
Two others like helping us also, like 3 around the world. I think we're probably
really is an international cast.
Yeah, absolutely.
Truly.
Yeah.
I think we're going to need to be wrapping this up. So I've got 2 things that I want to finish on, and you're welcome to anything. The one is, Jax, will you speak about the team?
The Sunrise team.
The Sunrise team, and beyond, if you like. But it's like what they meant. And yeah.
Oh, you make me feel emotional, Brent.
Yeah, I've got 2 to cry so far.
Come on, guys. Let's go.
Like, honestly, you're as strong as the community that surrounds you. And our team, I would go to war with them. The team we worked with was just phenomenal. And over 400 people from 27 countries, more than 27 countries. And just to see, they didn't just come to make a movie. They came not just to inspire through the story we tell, the story of David. They came to inspire by pouring their very lives into the movie. But more than that, what some people forget, behind those 400 people, their families. And I think the greatest privilege for me was getting to know those families. We walked through people with breast cancer. We walked through people with losses in their lives. And yet everybody brought that. They brought their lives and they poured it in. And they are the most phenomenal team. And for me, again, like I said before, it's like that tapestry. That tapestry without a single thread is missing color. You'd notice it. But what I also loved is just how everybody flowed together. People often ask me, do you have an organogram or one of those charts that you could put up so we can see who the boss is? And I go, it's like a spider web. There's just this trust. People trust, and they work with each other, and they believe the best in each other. And I can honestly say they're a team. They're like a Navy SEAL team. You know how much I love the Navy SEALs, Brent. And they're a Navy SEAL team, and they just believe the best in each other, and they bring the best out of each other. And I think that's the richness in the story. I think that's why you talk about custodians. I think God took all these lives, unbeknownst to us, and put the story into you, used you in full to like weave it together. And little did we know, it's more than David. It's over 400 Davids that have woven together with their beautiful lives and their beautiful colors. And that's what makes Sunrise so rich.
And if I can say a thing that Jackie always says, and she lives this as well, is that the people are more important than the product. So obviously, getting David out there is supremely important, but it never came at the cost of a person to the best of your ability or a relationship. You always, and the way that I've always seen the way that you lead the studio is very much like a flock of geese. That you're flying in the front, pointing in a direction, you know, and it's people forming in formation behind you that sort of creates that flow, makes it easier for everybody else. And there's times when you've had to fall out of formation and come back, and someone else goes to the front, and it's like, or if someone falls down and is sick, the 2 geese go down to help it and give it the V up, you know. And sometimes you see geese flying and there's multiple Vs, you know, so different departments all having leaders and I can absolutely see that there's an organicness and a flow.
Definitely.
So it's, I can just say it's the most, that's why it's felt like home to me, you know.
That's fantastic, Brent.
And then Phil, a couple of things just to end with. I've got 3. One is maybe just, you could just highlight like how like Angel's role in helping actually really make the movie a reality ultimately, you know.
I think this is the beautiful thing about movies. There's so many people and things that have got to come together. You can make a great movie, but you've got to get it out to the market. And what Jackie and I, we met the Angel brothers many years ago, and immediately we felt a kindred spirit. And I think what we love about the Angel team is, well, Jackie loves the Navy SEALs, and they're fast and they're adaptable, and they're not scared. And what I'd say about Angel is when the world zigs, they zag. And we had always felt like, we were talking about living the story you're telling, that when David went to fight Goliath, and this I'm saying specifically about Angel, everyone tried to put Saul's armor on David, and he had to have the courage to take it off and go with the slingshots. That for me is Angel. When everyone tries to put the conventional wisdom, ways of doing things on them, they've got the courage to take it off and go and fight with a unique style that I believe is perfect for this David movie. And so, yeah, just so grateful to be working with Angel and with the guys 2521 who came in and also helped just like energize and get the movie into the market. That company as well, incredible partner to the project. So just such a privilege because there's a kindred spirit, the way we work and the way we function. It just felt like, such a great meeting with Angel.
Yeah, absolutely. When I first came across to Angel, went into the studio, I was like, oh, this feels very familiar.
Yes.
Which is wonderful. You know, you feel like it's a place where people really care about each other. They're working with a vision and a purpose.
Totally.
So wonderful.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I would say the common thread that I love is, you mentioned it earlier, is you were driven by belief. We're all driven by belief.
Amen.
It's that, and I love what Phil says, adaptability. I love that the most about Angel. It's they adapt and they finding this is the way to go, this is the way to go, and it works for us.
Yeah.
Because that's like fresh air to us.
Yeah.
That's right. And then my second last one is, we touched on it a little bit, but your mom's role in your life.
Oh, wow. I'll get emotional now.
I see, I've got to get all of them. Yeah.
You can do it.
Your mom's role in your life, and obviously there's this message at the end of the movie. Can you just speak to that?
Yeah, and I really hope, just looking at anyone who's watching this, that this is a movie that champions mothers. My mom was incredible. I was like Jackie was saying, when my brothers and I were like 14, 15, she's saying, Phil, by your age, David was fighting Goliath. You need to get out there, have faith, have adventures, trust God. Don't wait till you're in your 20s. Like, God used teenagers, Daniel, Joseph. And with our friends as well. She was always inspiring them, challenging them. And I was like, wow, what an incredible person and huge. This movie would not exist without her. That's why we've dedicated it to her. But I want to say to mothers, like, often movies corner moms in a protective role, which of course that's an aspect. But we really wanted to champion mothers and say they inspire the world. They play such a huge role in humanity and history. And I wanted David's life to reflect that. And it's not just made up, because in one of the Psalms, David says, I serve you as my mother did. So he clearly saw something in what his mother did that inspired his faith in God. And we should remember that his great-grandmother was Ruth. So obviously he had this incredible inspiration from the woman in his life, which we wanted to really be true to and show on the movie.
Amazing. Amazing. I love the fact that it emerged in the story. So talking about how he wrote the story and let it be what it meant to be. We didn't shoehorn that in. The story needed that, you know. Actually, David needed his mother. Do you know what I mean? And it was, so it was really needed. And lastly, for me, you're welcome to do something else, but it's like, we've done it. We've made the movie. It's out there. People are watching it and consuming it. And how do you feel now that it's finished? And what are your hopes for the movie from here?
Oh, thanks, Brent. It's quite surreal, isn't it? I mean, for all of us sitting here, still trying to absorb it, to be honest. I think the incredible thing is, like, I hope that as people watch this, that they see a few things. That God is a God of adventure, a God of expansiveness. We've said that a few times. That they see in David somebody who was, like we talked about earlier, who wasn't perfect, but held nothing back and just lived his life. Didn't sanitize his approach to God. He just lived wholeheartedly. And I love that. So we hope that as people watch this movie, they're deeply inspired to live bravely, to take on the Goliaths in their lives, to be strong and courageous, and know that God is their shepherd and God is their best friend.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
And I think that the department have done such incredible work getting these things. I think we should all cheers.
All cheers.
Yeah. All cheers together.
L'chaim.
Cheers.
The end.
The end.